Most people will spend their entire lives wondering why they never got rich. They'll blame the economy. They'll blame their boss. They'll blame bad luck. But here's what nobody tells you. Wealth doesn't show up overnight. It leaves clues. Long before the money arrives, certain signs start appearing in how you think, how you act, and how you see the world. And if you're watching this video right now, there's a good chance you already have more of these signs than you realize. Stay until the end, because sign number 11 is the one that separates people who dream about wealth from the ones who actually build it. Welcome to Syfone Capital, where we break down the habits, mindsets, and money moves that actually build wealth. Today, we're covering 15 signs that you're going to be rich. Not someday, not maybe, but genuinely, predictably, on your way. These aren't random guesses. These are patterns backed by behavioral psychology, studied in self-made millionaires across the world. Let's get into it. Sign number 1. You think in years, not days. Most people live paycheck to paycheck, not because they don't earn enough, but because they only think about right now. Rich people think differently. They ask, where will I be in 5 years if I make this decision? Warren Buffett didn't become the world's greatest investor by chasing quick wins. He held stocks for decades. If you naturally think long-term, if you delay small pleasures for bigger future rewards, that's the first sign you're wired for wealth. Sign number 2. You're obsessed with learning. Here's a stat that should stop you in your tracks. The average CEO reads 52 books a year. The average American reads fewer than 4. Future millionaires treat self-improvement like an investment, not an expense. They take courses, read books, build new skills, without waiting for someone to pay for it. If you're the kind of person who constantly wants to know more about money, business, investing, psychology, you're already building the mental foundation of wealth. Sign number 3. You're good with small amounts of money. This one surprises people. Most assume you need to be rich before you can manage money well. But the truth is the complete opposite. Being broke is not the same as being bad with money. Many of the world's wealthiest people started with almost nothing, but they respected every single dollar from day one. You can tell a lot about someone's financial future by how they handle $100. If you track your spending, avoid impulsive buys, and find satisfaction in saving, even small amounts, those habits will scale with you as your income grows. Sign number 4. You're uncomfortable with debt. Most people treat debt like a normal part of life. Rich people treat it like a disease. There's a difference between strategic debt, like a mortgage or a business loan, and lifestyle debt. Credit cards, car loans for cars you can't afford, buy now, pay later for things you don't need. If debt makes you uncomfortable, if something inside you refuses to spend money you don't have, that's not a limitation, that's a wealth signal. Sign number 5. You started earning early. Warren Buffett sold packets of gum to his neighbors at age 6. Mark Cuban was selling trash bags door to door at 12. Richard Branson bred and sold parakeets at 11. None of them needed the money. They were driven by something deeper, a natural desire to create value, to exchange, to build. If you had a lemonade stand, sold things online, freelanced, or found creative ways to earn money at a young age, that entrepreneurial instinct doesn't disappear. It compounds. Sign number 6. You live below your means. Here's one of the biggest myths about rich people, that they live in giant mansions, drive Lamborghinis, and wear designer everything. The reality? Most self-made millionaires drive practical cars. They live in modest homes. They don't flash their wealth. The famous book, The Millionaire Next Door, studied thousands of wealthy Americans and found that most of them looked completely ordinary from the outside. If you've mastered the habit of spending less than you earn, no matter your income level, you're practicing one of the most powerful wealth-building disciplines that exists. Sign number 7. You have multiple income ideas. Wealthy people don't rely on one stream of income. They build many. But here's what's interesting. It starts as an idea, long before it becomes money. If your brain constantly generates ideas, Side hustles, businesses, investments, ways to solve problems. That's a sign you think like a builder, not a consumer. Most people see a problem and complain. Future wealthy people see a problem and think, how can I solve this and get paid for it? Sign number 8, you're not afraid to be uncomfortable. Every single wealthy person has one thing in common. They did something uncomfortable for a long time before the reward showed up. They stayed in when everyone else was going out. They invested when the market looked scary. They kept building when nobody was paying attention. If you have a high tolerance for discomfort, if you can delay gratification and keep showing up even when it's hard, the statistics are overwhelmingly in your favor. Sign number 9, you choose experiences over things. There's a fascinating psychological shift that happens in people on their way to wealth. They stop buying things and start investing in experiences and skills. They'd rather spend money on a course that teaches them investing than on the newest iPhone. They'd rather travel and gain perspective than redecorate their apartment. Research consistently shows that people who prioritize knowledge and experiences over possessions build wealth faster because they're investing in themselves, which pays the highest return. Sign number 10, you keep score of your net worth. Most people know exactly how much they earn. Very few know what they're worth. Net worth is the real scoreboard of wealth. It's your assets minus your liabilities. Wealthy people obsess over this number, not out of ego, but because you can't improve what you don't measure. If you track your savings, monitor your investments, and know exactly where you stand financially, you're playing a game that most people don't even know exists. Sign number 11, you invest before you spend. This is the one that changes everything. Most people follow this order: earn, spend, save whatever's left. Wealthy people flip it: earn, invest, live on the rest. It's called pay yourself first, and it's the single most powerful financial habit ever documented. When you automate a portion of every paycheck directly into savings or investments, before you even see it, wealth becomes automatic. A study by WealthX found that around 68% of people with a net worth of $30 million or more are self-made, not inherited, built, and nearly all of them practiced this one habit. If you already do this or feel pulled toward doing it, sign number 11 is yours. Sign number 12, you're selective about your circle. Jim Rohn said it best: you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Wealthy people don't say this to be elitist. They say it because it's measurably true. Your environment shapes your ambitions, your standards, and your belief about what's possible. If you find yourself gravitating toward people who are ambitious, curious, and growth-minded, even if they're further along than you, that's a powerful sign you're unconsciously raising your own ceiling. Sign number 13, failure doesn't break you. Here's something every wealthy person has in common that they rarely talk about publicly. They failed. A lot. Elon Musk's first 2 SpaceX launches failed completely. He had enough money left for one more shot, and he took it. The difference between people who build wealth and people who don't isn't the number of failures. It's what they do after the failure. If you treat failure as data, as feedback, as a reason to adjust rather than quit, you have one of the rarest and most valuable traits a person can possess. Sign number 14, you're playing the long game with your health. This one is overlooked in almost every finance video, but the wealthiest, most productive people in the world understand something most people don't. Your body is your most important asset. Poor health destroys productivity, increases costs, and shortens the time you have to compound your wealth. If you exercise, sleep well, and make conscious choices about what you put in your body, you're not just living healthier. You're protecting your most valuable investment, yourself. Sign number 15, you believe wealth is possible for you. This is the most important sign of all, and the hardest to measure. As T. Harv Eker wrote in Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, rich people believe they create their lives. Others believe life simply happens to them. Your beliefs about money are the foundation everything else is built on. If you believe wealth is reserved for the lucky, the born rich, or the exceptionally talented, your brain will make that belief come true by ignoring every opportunity in front of you. But if you genuinely believe, deep down, that you can build wealth through discipline, decisions, and time, you will find a way. You always do. So, how many of these 15 signs do you have? If you recognized yourself in even 5 or 6 of these, you're already ahead of 90% of people who will never think about money this way. Wealth isn't a destination, it's a direction, and every single day you move in the right direction, with the right habits, the right mindset, and the right knowledge, you get closer. That's exactly what this channel is about. Every week, we break down the real strategies, habits, and money moves that build lasting wealth, without the fluff, without the shortcuts, and without the noise. If that's the channel you want in your life, subscribe. You'll be glad you did. And if you want to go even deeper, watch this video next.